What's up, everybody? Welcome to the late afternoon show. Let the beat drop. Hey. On the same frequency. Let the rock. Yo, guys, I am so excited to be with you guys again on the late afternoon show. I can't even keep track of what episode we are on. We've talked to some awesome people. Last week, we had to reshuffle a little bit, and we had a great time talking with you guys, understanding what you loved, what you hated about the work that you did. And we're back again. We got an awesome guest today, Ryan Dixon. Yo, it's about to be fire. Let's vibe. Hey. Yo, I'm sitting down today because it's been a long day, but I can still vibe in the chair. You know about that chair dance? Hey. You give me those good. We're starting a little bit early today, but that is A-okay. If you are joining us on the live, please let us know in the comments where you are joining us from. Let us know in the comments where you're joining us from. So if you're joining us from Mississippi, if you're joining us from Missouri, if you're joining us from LA, let us know in the comments. If you are joining us for the first time, this is your first late afternoon show, please put a number 1 in the comments. We love to see all of our people that are joining us for the first time. Oh, the jam's almost over. Hey. Welcome to the party. If you are joining us, we have Ryan Dixon joining us today. I don't think we've ever had somebody from Hollywood join our show. So this is the first time for us. What's up, Kristen from Colorado? Welcome to the late afternoon show. It's good to see you again. Hey. Ping your friends. Let them know that the late afternoon show is happening now. Ping them, email them, text them, call them, say, hey, hop on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. It's live. Hey. On the same frequency. Now, I know I'm a bad DJ because normally if you're a DJ, you're only supposed to play like the first 90 seconds of a song. I'm out here playing the entire 3.5, 4 minutes. So DJing is not my cut, but I just love this vibe because we're about to have some good vibrations today. Hey, it's almost over. Welcome. Let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know in the chat. Hey. Give a hand clap. Down to shoulders. All right, guys, we are live on the late afternoon show. Welcome to the shed. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this view of the shed. I am still working on putting some padding and insulation in the shed. I can escape from the kids for a little bit. They might be running in here to disturb me in a second, but we have the shed. We have good lighting. We got good sound. We got great guests. It is about to be an awesome show today. We got Ryan Dixon, who's going to be joining us here in a little bit. We're going to play some games. We're going to answer some questions. And you do not want to leave because I have a special announcement after the game today. Maybe before or after the game. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but there's a special announcement that you do not want to miss. Something is coming up. Something big, something huge is coming up. And I want to let you guys in on it. So stay tuned for that. But obviously, before we get into anything serious, you guys got to get these jokes. You got to get these jokes. And I'm just looking at myself. I'm looking at Ryan in the back room. Like, this is my audience right now. So if you guys are feeling these jokes, put some applause. If it's whack and cheesy, put some eye roll emojis. Just give me some feedback. Let me know if this is working or not. We obviously cannot get past the fact, we cannot ignore the fact that we just had an amazing Super Bowl. It was amazing for some, right? It was disheartening for others. This Super Bowl, this last Sunday, we had old man Brady. We had young boy Patrick Mahomes, who was trying to get that next Super Bowl win, and old man Brady got him. He got him. And this guy, I mean, I've been doing a lot of old people jokes for Joe Biden and these guys, but today Tom Brady can get it. I mean, this guy literally, after this Super Bowl, all he should be doing is putting on his comfy shoes and watching his programs. That is the stage that he is in right now, of just doing what old people do, chilling, relaxing, stop throwing this pigskin around. Your days are, well, they're obviously not over, because he was showing that he still got it. But besides the Super Bowl, the other big thing that's happening this week, or the week coming, this week, Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, Valentine's Day is coming up. So, guys, it's a lot of pressure for us. But for me, I always associate, anytime I think about Valentine's Day, I think of 4th of July. Is it just me? I always think February 14th and July 4th have something in common. You guys may not see it, but I see it, right? One day is celebrating independence, and the other day is celebrating the complete opposite. So to me, Valentine's Day and 4th of July should be going hand in hand. And talk about the pressure. Oh my gosh, Valentine's Day, there is so much pressure to impress and demonstrate that you love your significant other, or that they love you. So the expectations are through the roof. Do you agree? Let me know if you agree with the pressure that is put on folks on Valentine's Day. Last year, my wife woke up and she said, she had a dream on Valentine's Day. Woke up on Valentine's Day, said she had a dream that I got her diamond earrings for Valentine's Day. That's what she said. Woke up. And so she was telling me this dream. She said, I woke up, I dreamt that you got me diamond earrings, and I don't understand it. What do you think it means? And I was like, I guess we're just going to have to wait till tonight to find out. And so all day hustling. So that evening, I got her the best Valentine's Day present, a book entitled How to Understand Your Dream. And I know it was a good gift because she was shedding tears. She was shedding tears at that book. So I think I did a good job. It's a lot of pressure, guys. So make sure you show your folks that you love them throughout the year. Invest in meaningful relationships all the way through. And don't put so much pressure on yourself on Valentine's Day. But speaking about love, speaking about meaningful relationships, speaking about being creative, guys really have to be creative. Folks, couples, anybody has to really be creative around this time of year. And you probably are not going to see more creativity than you see in Hollywood, in entertainment. I mean, we have been bombarded with different shows, with different movies, with different series, and all these things in this last year. And so I am super excited to have our guest today, Ryan Dixon, who is in the entertainment industry, who does creativity as a business, creativity as a service. So if you have an applause emoji, if you have a hand clap icon, I want you to give it up for our guest today. Let's bring him up to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Dixon. Hey, there you go. Hey, there you go. Rock it out.
I have to admit that in college, I went to drama school at Carnegie Mellon, and we all had to take a class. I was a director, but I had to take a class with all the actors called Rhythm. And it was taught by a woman named Victoria Santa Cruz, who was like 80 and from Brazil, and she created this whole style of rhythm. And she was like, rhythm is cosmic, kid. It is from Africa, inside of you. And I was so terrible that every time I got up to do it, everyone sort of laughed. And like it was like you had to walk through jump ropes without it hitting you.
Wow.
And stuff like that. And I got so bad that the worst kids in class had to do private lessons with her. So you had to go to her small office, and literally you'd like clap. She would clap on the desk. You would clap. And I was still so bad with rhythm. She said, "You are not ready, kid." And so I got canceled, So
Did you get kicked? You got kicked out of
there, but my vibing is.
You got kicked out of rhythm class?
I did. I mean, I kept going with it, because we had to, and I ended up the only C I got at CMU.
Oh my gosh.
That I hope somehow I've improved.
Oh man, I saw that. You were
Good.
able
Okay.
to. You were able to. What I don't know if it's like
What I lack in skill, I make up with enthusiasm.
Oh, 100%. The charisma is there. That is what you get. The A for charisma and enthusiasm. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us this late afternoon. How have you been, brother?
I have been doing well, riding out pandemic here in LA, where, we had record numbers of COVID, but the malls were still open. We weren't going to the malls here. It's, I'm, here with my wife and my 5-year-old daughter in what is essentially the plot of The Shining, but with a lot less space.
Dude, it has been wild. I mean, we have been enjoying some of it. Sometimes the schools are able to be in session, sometimes they're not. And so we obviously beasted out that whole last year with 3 little kids at home. And finally they let the schools open up. So we're sending these kids out. But it was crazy. Like the malls have been open forever, and like all these other places have been open. It's like, man, I just want to get these kids out of here. Like, yes. If I can have that, I don't care about going to the mall. Just get these kids out of here.
I know.
But man, so we're so excited to have you, Ryan. Ryan, you and I met I think it was maybe a couple years ago at an event down in Southern California with CoLab. You are speaking and sharing your insights with a group of young people, entrepreneurs that were trying to, kind of make a name for themselves in the film industry. And I was so impressed with your, practical, punchy, charismatic, like not the fluff that you see or you might expect from Hollywood or from the entertainment industry. It was real, it was raw, it was direct. And I was like, man, if there is an opportunity that I can talk with this guy again, just because I like storytelling, right? And I think entertainment is all about storytelling. And I was like, yo, if I can connect with this guy in another form or fashion, I would love to. And here we have the opportunity. But dude, outside of all the accolades that I read off for you, what are you personally famous for? What do people know Ryan for?
I would say, aside from with entertainment, probably my most famous moment of my life was for a brief period of time. I was one of the foremost experts on the McRib, the McDonald's sandwich. Were you writing
articles? Like you were the subject matter expert? You were on Larry King?
No, this is what happened around 10 years ago, around the time that they relaunched their the sandwich nationally for the first time in like 15 years.
Yeah.
I was writing for a blog called Fierce and Nerdy. And I had written an article right before they had launched it called, the 5 reasons why the McRib is the greatest fast food item of all time.
Wow.
And, I wrote it. I thought, great, it kind of went out there. And then around the time, a couple months later, whatever, McDonald's was re-releasing it, I get a call from the Wall Street Journal and saying, we read your article about the McRib. Would you like to do an article about it? Would you like to be interviewed? And I said, sure. And, speaking of daughters coming in, here's my 5-year-old.
Let's go. Welcome to the family.
She thinks she's watching YouTube.
Hey!
Hello.
That's the...
Say hi, Mr. Cam. Oh, no, I know she's talking about her Toy Story toys that she wants. But basically, around that time that, they interviewed me.
Yeah.
And basically, they were asking me about the McRib, and they also asked, where is the furthest you've ever gone to get a McRib? And me being a storyteller, and I have a budding actress here. He likes to upstage the interviewer, as you can say, oh, here you go, McDimple's toy. Goodbye,
my daughter, if she knew where I was, she'd be doing the same thing. But I have skedaddled.
Yeah. So, and basically, they wanted to know where is the furthest I went to for a McRib. And in truth, it was like 20 minutes, but me being a storyteller, I basically said to them, I drove up to my friend in Ashland, Oregon, 10 hours. And, that got it in the front page of the Wall Street Journal. There I was talking about the McRib. Then I get a call from NPR saying, hey, can we interview about the McRib? And so I went on NPR. You can find, I think it's probably still online.
Wow.
And about the McRib. And from that, then I got a call from McDonald's and literally got a coupon of 100 McRib coupons for free. So I was the most popular person at the place I was working at the time. And then I was kind of stupid enough because I thought it was oversaturated after a couple of years. And then I wrote a thing about how it had gone over saturation, which is actually true. And then, I never got a free coupon. But for a long time, that's my wife exiting with the cane, off stage, putting her up. She got, I was, Mr. McRib. Alan Klein, who did the McRib locator, which is still, there's probably, the sort of ubermensch of McRib experts. But for a little while, that was my, biggest claim to fame. Ironically, it didn't really win me much in terms of dating or what have you, as I had expected. It really
often lead. Man, there's like you come on a date and it's like you should know me. Like there needs to be that recognition.
I was, it's seemingly like, hey, I can get you a free McRib. Wasn't something that really locked and loaded.
That's classy. I love that, dude. I thought you were joking. You serious? Like this is like my man was on NPR, the most serious Wall Street Journal on the McRib. So if anybody has any questions and needs a subject matter expert on the McRib, please, we have Ryan Dixon. You heard it here on the late afternoon show. Dude, I love that. That's probably one of my favorite answers for what are you famous for that'll go down in history. But, so outside of your McRib fame, it looks like you are currently working in creative consulting. So you spent some time doing screenwriting. You spent some time, working with some big name stars. So talk to us about your current venture, kind of like where you were and how you've transitioned to what you're doing now.
So one of the things I say in giving notes about screenplays, if you're having an issue in Act 2, you need to look back to Act 1. And in that same way, I'll kind of give you a quick pitch of my life. The bullet points is, when I came out to Hollywood, I loved the entertainment business. Yeah. And I think I loved it a little too much in that I kind of took every job opportunity I have as a kind of class. It's like, oh, I can work for the president of IMAX. Cool. Oh, I can work for World Wrestling Entertainment. Amazing. Oh, I can work at MGM and all these places. Yeah. And at some point I was like, oh, I need to figure out what I have to do. Yeah. And at that point, I was like, I'm going to really focus on the screenwriting element. Yeah. And so I left the world of day jobs and then ended up starving for 5 or 6 years as I was, writing and what have you. And at that same token, while writing to survive, I also ended up spending a lot of time doing script coverage, which is essentially like reports on the quality of scripts that producers read so they don't have to read the script. Right. And I built up that. So I was doing essentially 2 tracks of screenplay development and being a screenwriter. Wow. And my first big break was getting writing for Universal a sequel, which they still might make, who knows, to the movie Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito, where they would add Eddie Murphy and call it Triplets. Yeah. And I got that literally at the same day I got that job. I got a call from a studio head who was about to start a new job running a studio saying, Ryan, come be my VP. And so it was the best kind of Sophie's choice. Yeah. But I decided I'm going to go do the screenwriting, and I sort of dove into that. And, for the next 5 or so years, it was what everyone kind of dreams about. Suddenly, oh, now I'm doing writing a movie for Disney. Oh, a show for Amazon, just kept going and going and going. Mm-hmm. But in that same token, when we talk about meaningful work, while I love doing it, I love to have the opportunities, and it was amazing to sort of play at the major leagues in that level, so to speak. I also began to wonder, it's like, is this what I really, really deeply love? Huh. Only because, when you're writing for studios, when you're writing for big companies, you're all often writing assignments. You're taking things they want to do and trying to build it. Yeah. And what I realized with my own creativity, that I was also, when I turned to writing, I always loved kind of a little slower pace, my own world, unique ideas, what have you. But where I really did love the element of collaboration is working with other people's ideas, that development idea of, hey, we have a script, I'm helping another writer. I'm not taking credit. I'm building that. And throughout the time as being a screenwriter, I would always occasionally take on a client if they said, Ryan, can you read the script, give notes, what have you? And it slowly became, there's a quote by Scott Galloway that he says that instead of following your dreams, focus on what you're good at, because as you become good at that, you will do well at that and you will become passionate. And I sort of had made a switch over the last couple of years where instead of writing screenplays was the top, it flipped to my consulting and helping other people, whether that is independent producers, other screenwriters, and also people in tech, in science, in education, using storytelling in various forms. And that sort of over the past 2 years, it's like, hey, this is what I love. I love waking up every day, working with different people, helping them on their projects, using whatever knowledge I have. And at that same time, looking at it through the lens of screenplay, that became my A plot. And my B plot was, I'm going to write what I want to write. I'm not going to kind of chase that to make a living. And ironically, over the last year and a half, I've been getting to write this, like I've had, working with different producers and some actors, some of the best writing, I've had the best experiences of writing projects that I really love. So, I feel like, I'm getting to a place of that kind of balance in your work of doing what I do well and really being passionate about it. There isn't where it used to be when I was just focused on writing screenplays for studios. There was a lot of waking up and I have to write six hours. And I realized this stuff I was trying to force myself to do it. And in the end, it wasn't great for me psychologically because it felt forcing yourself into that state. Whereas now I sort of wake up and there's just a wonderful flow to every day, or most days at least.
Dude, that is so awesome. The last couple of weeks I've been posting, I have a spot on Monday called Meaningful Mondays, where I just kind of take lessons from the previous week and try to apply them to the week ahead. So folks can have some pointers for making a meaningful week. And so the last couple of weeks, last week I talked about, figuring out what your superpower is. And this week I spoke about finding your strength as a priority. And you're speaking directly on that, because one of the things as far as finding your strength is like, hey, what comes easy to you? Like what energizes you, or what do people come to you for? Right? Like, and if you can find out what those things are, and to your point, do them, and you do them over and over, and you do them well, the passion builds, right? When you start seeing the impact that you're having, we had Jeff Hoffman on our first episode. He used to be the Priceline at CEO.
I watched it. It was amazing. It was a great interview.
It was such a great conversation. And so we talked about meaningful work is impact and fulfillment. So you fill that fulfillment piece by doing your strength, right? Something that you're good at, that energizes you. And then you see the impact, right? The people that comes like, oh my gosh, Ryan took a look at this thing, or he helped strategize this thing, or he consulted on this thing, and they're able to get it to the next level of success. Like, that's real impact. And so the fact that you were able to go on that journey, and then in the last, year and a half, 2 years, really start honing in and chiseling down, what that is for you. And it sounds you have a company that came as a result of that. Is that?
Yeah. It's sort of, like anything, it became at first, like I said, when I was doing the writing, the consulting element was a sort of, okay, someone coming to me, I'll help. But again, it's solely, build it and they will come. And it's, over the last couple of years, it became a wonderful recognition of like, no, this is a real business. This is your business. This is your passion. Yeah. And, Tartan Valley Creative Enterprises, which is the name of the company, is, I see it as an outlet for all sorts of creativity and storytelling. So I kind of run the gamut from being a writing coach for screenwriters to a development person for independent producers who come to me and say, hey, Ryan, I have this idea. Can you find someone to write the idea? Can I help use my own connections to sort of give them placements in the industry? And at that same token, I also work a lot with scientists with like, hey, how do we use storytelling techniques to make the science clear
Yeah.
for audiences, for everything. And it's what I love about it is because I was so obsessed with entertainment and kind of wanting to be a filmmaker since I was 10.
Wow.
Most of my life, basically half my life, I sort of had a concrete goal. I'm going to this, like chugging like a train.
Yeah.
And over the past 2 or 3 years, while this business has exploded, I'm kind of free because I'm like, I don't know where I'll be in 2 years or what I'll be doing. And it's so wonderfully freeing to kind of live in the present of, I love every day waking up, talking to my various clients, working on whatever project's coming. And it's such a freedom to have, to not sort of, to be sort of fighting the expectations I had for myself at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 through, next couple decades.
Man, that is a wonderful journey, and that is encouraging to folks that are still on that journey, right? It's like, hey, I have this idea of what I want to do. Like, I'm anchored in this idea, and oftentimes it's hard to pivot, right, from that. But the most successful people go through those pivots, right? They find, they know what they love, they know what they're passionate about, but it might look different given the times, given feedback, and given, all these different things. And
that's one of the big discoveries I have when we talk about pivoting is I think there's an expectation, like anything, diets, creative, like, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to be manically go all into this. But life doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? I tend to, that attitude, you quickly wear yourself out. Versus sort of organically, like little steps, building it, but also allowing what is coming your way and being open to it. Because that's where then, like anything, if you're starting a new career, if you're looking to pivot into something, I think it's having the expectation that this isn't going to be an overnight change. It's going to take years, maybe decades. And it's important to sort of manage those expectations.
100%. Dude, guys, for anybody that's still joining us, we are talking with Ryan Dixon. He is a creative consultant. He has been in the entertainment industry for a little bit. How many years would you say? Or how many years will you admit to?
I moved out to LA after grad school in 2004. So I'm terrible at math. That's why I'm in entertainment. 17 years.
17 years. And so he's sharing some of his journey. And after we come back, so let me know if anybody is, I'm not able to see the live viewers on here unless folks make a comment. Just give me a thumbs up or just type in yes in the chat if you are still with us here live, because we are going to play a game. We're going to have the screenwriter, we're going to have the creative consultant do some entertaining charade style. So I want to make sure we still have folks with us. So if you are still with us, type yes in the chat. While folks are doing that, I'm going to make a quick announcement, guys. I said I was going to do it after the break, but I'm super excited, and we're going to come back and talk to Ryan about some tips about creativity, especially as it relates to meaningful work in the entertainment industry. All right, Wayne is still here with us. Type in yes if you are still with us here on the live. So I have an announcement, guys. We are going to be celebrating. I started this meaningful work journey last year, around February or March of last year, when I said, hey, I'm going to be exploring the definition and the application of meaningful work. And so, believe it or not, it has been a year. And so to celebrate, on March 1st, we are going to be having a celebration of meaningful work. So I am going to share my screen here. We have this very cool graphic with my face all over. I don't know if you guys can see that there. We are going to be celebrating a year of meaningful work. It is going to be a 1-hour power-packed conference. We're going to have awesome breakout sessions. We're going to have some phenomenal guest speakers. We're going to have some giveaways. So we actually have some Mr. Meaningful Work merchandise for free. So for folks that want to sign up, the first 10 people that sign up are going to get free Mr. Meaningful Work merch. So we have this logo here that says, I do meaningful work. I do meaningful work. So you're going to get a I do meaningful work shirt if you are one of the first 10 people to sign up. And that is literally going to mrmeaningfulwork.com/event. You go to mrmeaningfulwork.com/event. We also have these pins. I don't know if you can see it here. I've been wearing it the last few shows. It's the same thing. I do meaningful work. You can put it on your badge. You can put it on your suit. You can put it on your jacket, put it on your backpack, wherever you want to put it. That reminds you that you do meaningful work. So sign up for the Year of Meaningful Work celebration, March 1st, 12 p.m. Pacific to 1 p.m. So 12 to 1 hour is going to be great. We're going to be sharing experiences. We're going to be sharing stories. We're going to have a lot of laughs. We're going to have a lot of good learning and tidbits from these experts in meaningful work. So check it out, meaningfulwork.com/event for that, for those giveaways. And we have other prizes we're going to be giving away as well during the actual event. So that is my announcement. We'll have some more stuff coming up as it relates to that, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. It looks like we got folks on here. We got Megan on here. We got Lydia on here. We got Kristen. We got Israel. We got Lydia. We got everybody on here. So, Ryan, we are going to play charades, and you've dealt with actors, so you should be an actor by osmosis or by association. You are already a charismatic storyteller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a subject in the chat here, and folks that are live with us can guess. If you're watching the rebroadcast, feel free to guess as well. You could also just fast forward and see the end. But if you want to play along, you can do that. So this is going to be very, very easy. All right. So there's been so many movies made about this, and we just want to see if you can act this out for us. So I put it in the private chat, Ryan. You go and check it out. We're going to play some music while Ryan is.
Do I have to be, just a question, because I've never, I played trades a long time ago. Is it, I have to be totally silent, right?
You got to be totally silent. Okay. Yeah, totally silent. So you can let folks know, like, syllables. You can say, 2 syllables or words, like it's 2 words or things like that. But otherwise, you just got to be totally silent and just act it out. So,
and I'm doing it during the music or after the music?
Oh, during the music. During the music.
I have a score then. All right.
Yeah. So we got the mood for it. So, oh man, my Bluetooth turned off. Come on, tech. All right. So you can go ahead and let us get this going. All right. All right. Are we connected? Yes. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. He's acting it out, guys. You guys are going to be guessing. He wasted no time. Look at that face. What is he trying to be? Type it in the chat. No holding back, Ryan. No holding back. Please, no holding back. Let's get some guesses in here. I wish I was playing. I wish I was playing on the end of this. So Megan said monster. It is not monster. Wayne got it. He said
winner.
Very nice. Very nice.
My very expensive theater education would have been for naught if no one had guessed. I would have been crushed.
Yes, they would have retracted your degrees. Like, nah, give that back. Give that back. Give that back. Zombie was correct. Very good. Very good. So thank everybody for playing, Wayne. Good job.
You guys.
Wayne, join us. Register for the conference if you can, and we will get you your free. We'll get you your prize. We'll get you a pin and a shirt. I already got some stuff coming over to you, Wayne. So thank you for playing along with us. So really quick, Ryan, we want to transition into, we always have a question we talk about by way of meaningful work. but I want you to be able to maybe share for folks that are joining us this afternoon. You obviously do this professionally by way of creative consulting and helping folks articulate their story in a compelling way. Are there one or two tips that you can give us that maybe you give your clients as it relates to articulating the story in a creative way that folks can walk away with this, walk away from this?
About storytelling.
Yeah.
To me, one of the keys about any storytelling is a strong point of view. If we think about the different genres of movies, what makes the best horror movies is, why are they scary? It's because it's not only that, the lighting, the fog, what have you, but you have characters that have a point of view where they're genuinely terrified of what is happening. Same with a love story. Same with any of those elements. When we think of the genius of Steven Spielberg, is that what he's able to accomplish with using the point of view of characters. I go back, I always think about Jurassic Park because it's a masterclass, and it begins with the teaser. We see something scary, the raptors pulling the worker into a cage. But then, and it's clear, like, whose point of view are we in? Because the first time we see the Brachiosaurus, we're in a paleontologist point of view. So they're not scared of the dinosaurs. They're in awe of the dinosaurs. And then he brings on the kids to be scared of the T-Rex. So I think one element is really about, if you're working on a creative project, think about what is the point of view. And at that same token, on the flip side, think about who your audience is. Really dial in of who do you want to be engaged with this work, and what do they expect of the work. In terms of doing the work, the advice I always use myself in my own life and career, and a lot of people have been known for this quote, so I don't know quite who has this quote, not me, but I love it, is take care of the little things and the big things will take care of themselves. Meaning if you're jumping into a creative project, instead of thinking about the awards of the millions of dollars, think about, is this working?
Yeah. That is, and as you were talking about that, that point of view perspective, I think is such a major key, because even, outside of traditional creative work, whether it's, movie writing or TV writing or whatever, if I'm just thinking about professional and personal brand or your business or your job, whatever have you, I think, storytelling is still key, but having that point of view, instead of communicating what you're doing from a very ambiguous, non-directive way, if you come at it from the perspective, okay, I'm coming at it as the expert, right? Or I'm coming at it as the consumer. Like, I just like to consume tacos. And I'm giving feedback as a consumer of tacos, as opposed to I am an expert or a connoisseur of the ingredients and the history and all these different things. And so having that point of view and you telling that story from that point of view, or communicating your value or whatever it is that you're doing, I think is really major key for, if you're an employee, you're trying to get a new job or promotion or get a project, or you're an entrepreneur trying to, hawk your product or your service or whatever it is, being very clear about who you are and your point of view, and then where you, like you said, your audience and how they're viewing and receiving and consuming you is very, very key. That is nuggets. Guys, did you write that down? Yeah, Megan put it on there. She said POV, point of view. Yes, having that point of view can be, the game changer in building yourself as a brand or as a business or as just as an individual. Very, very good. And so I want to transition into kind of our closing thought here is around meaningful work. So I've been gathering definitions and gathering feedback on what that is. And so I'd love to hear your feedback on what meaningful work is.
To me, I went to school both for my undergrad and my master's at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. And Carnegie Mellon's motto is, my heart is in the work. And to me, meaningful work is the work that you're understanding that it's hard, you're understanding that it might take a lot, but you're also understanding that you're willing to put in that sacrifice because it is your being. It's something that you deeply love.
Yeah.
And in that same token, though, I like we talked about at the beginning, I don't think it's necessarily I'm chasing my dream or I'm chasing my passion, because I think there's a really dark side to chasing your dreams, because often when we see people chasing their dreams, there's people who succeed, but often there's if we look at points of view, and you look at a biopic about a musician who's like, I'm going to be the biggest in the world. Points of view, what is often the subplot is the significant other, the wife, the husband, the kids who are ignored, and the family is destroyed. And so it's a question of, for you with meaningful work, to me, it's like everything is work. Family life is work.
Yeah.
Your professional career is work.
Yeah.
Like if it's a hobby you want to get good at work. And so it's finding the meaning and finding the balance of that, and not necessarily being distracted with the kind of narcissistic, I'm going to chase my dreams, because sometimes it works at the cost of all others or what have you. But most of the time, the cost is really steep. And while we might celebrate some of these people who are, become billionaires or what have you, we recognize them because it's so rare to get to that level. Most people every day, we'll never hear of them. But that work, whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing it, you can find meaning in it. There's I don't know. There's a great book called I think it's called Man's Search for Meaning, by the psychologist Viktor Frankl, who was in Auschwitz, I believe. And his whole argument was, to survive Auschwitz, he found meaning every day in something there. And so to me, it's like finding meaning in what you're doing in a way of like, what is that positive, no matter how much it might suck.
Yeah, that is good. And so you're always
sorry to lower it to the Holocaust.
No, that's good. I think, and having that, because it's all perspective and mentality, right?
POV. POV. I mean, that's
the point of view, exactly. So when you are positioning yourself to receive meaning in a number of different interactions or different projects, or what have you, is definitely, ends up being a positive. And that's kind of like the Meaningful Monday thing of where I'm going to be intentional about looking at my prior week. Where did I find meaning in the activities that I did that previous week? And then share it for, how folks can do that. And they said value-driven obsession maybe reduce risk of crushing others under the weight of our value-driven obsession maybe reduces risk of crushing others under the weight of our own dream. Yes. When you focus on values, when you focus on the values, then you're able to be conscious of, how it affects other folks. And it's not just you pal driving,
it's POV, because it's being able to frame yourself in understanding what you're doing to others.
Yeah.
And, I remember I had a really kind of terrible day job a long time ago. And I remember waking up when I was going to the car, I would say to my head, what are the 3 things I'm grateful for each day? And because it really does. And over the past couple of years, when I've made this transition from kind of really wanting to be an A-list screenwriter to the sense of doing what I'm doing now, the biggest part of me was changing my own point of view of what mattered to me, of what was important in life, in how I kind of perceived the world and how I extended my own essence into the world.
Yeah. No, that's major. Thank you so much. And we could talk about this all night, but folks on the East Coast are like, yo, it's dark out here. It's not even late afternoon anymore. This is late night. But where can folks find you? What's the best places for folks to connect with you, Ryan?
I have a website. If you just probably Google Tartan Valley Creative Ventures, it'll come up. I'm on Twitter at Ryan B. Dixon. And, you can also you can email me at ryanbdixon@gmail.com.
Okay. So we'll put some of that. So we normally do a
I'll
recap.
send you the links.
Send me the links, and then we'll have a recap tomorrow with 3 of the main highlights from today's conversation. You really gave some nuggets. And guys, this is stuff that he coaches people on. This is stuff that he does for a living for other businesses, and he shared that with us live here today. So Ryan, I really appreciate you guys. A reminder,
thank you.
A reminder that March 1st, we have the 1-year celebration of meaningful work. So if you guys want to join us, it's 1 hour from 12 to 1 p.m. on Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be awesome. We'll be announcing the guests in the next few weeks, so we can kind of tease you a little bit. And Ryan, if you're open, you're welcome.
I'm there. Just let me know. I'd love to.
Yeah,
I would love to
come through.
As long as I get a free shirt or at least the pin.
Oh, you get it. You say no more. Say less. I got you. You will get your stuff. So guys, we're about to vibe out to it's been the late afternoon show with Ryan Dixon. Make sure you join us next week. If you are interested in real estate investing, you definitely want to be here next week. We have one of my mentors who's joining us, very successful real estate investor, and talking about building wealth and how that relates to meaningful work. So check us out next week on the late afternoon show. Ryan, it has been real. Let's vibe out, man. Thank you so much.
Sir.
Hey, where's that rhythm class? There you go. Churn the butter. Hey. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
I'm doing typo. I just get into the Billy Banks typo. Let's go.
Oh, bro.